you can do this. Normally I would do it with printer paper, but I've tidied up in a mysterious way. So first I'm going to show you, this is one of my foldies. So foldy, it looks like a normal micro comic, but it doesn't have any staples. This comic requires duplexing, which is a little bit, you know, a little bit fiddly, but I don't like cutting things. So I like that about it. So we start with page 1. And next time I redo it, I would make the open part bigger so people can see it. And you go open. And so then you unfold it to a larger section, which could be, you know, a double panel spread, or you can do whatever you like with it. I decided to use the whole space. So you okay? Yeah, I'm just a little overwhelmed. And you can see there's another open thing now at the top. So if we open from there, we now have another larger thing that you could, once again, I filled it with 2 panels. You could have it a whole image. You could have 4 or even more if you wanted to do little ones. Isn't it amazing that our ability to even perceive our existence comes from survival of the most collaborative? Particles, cells, biomes where things survive and are complex enough to be perceived. It is because of the most profound and remarkable collaboration. And then we've got another open, which is a star field. And the thing's going, wow. And once again, you could have this section. I've decided to use the whole page. I've seen very powerful ones where it's been like the same image repeated across to convey a specific message, or, you know, there's a lot of creativity you can do. One of the things I love about a folding is because it has this unfolding nature, it has a sort of built-in narrative structure. You want to work, so something is going to expand and something is going to be revealed. I've got a page. That's the important thing. I've got a rectangle. So if you guys want to follow along, we take our rectangle and we fold it in half, like this way. Yeah, I don't worry about using lined paper at this stage because I will, when I do this, you can just create a one-off single piece of art that you give to people, one and done. I generally digitally photograph it and finish it off digitally, though you could also make it really beautiful and do it on paper. But I think for the first draft, it doesn't really matter. So now that we've got this, we fold it in half again. We've got another rectangle, and then we fold it in half again.
Wait, which way do we fold it the last time?
We fold it this way, so it looks like a microcomic. So I think you ask an interesting question, like you could get creative with, like, this is the, yes, that way. And I'm like, this is the conventional way to do a folding. If you got curious and you were like, what happens if I do it the other way? Because I want to tell stories that are really long and narrow. Like that could be a different unfolding experience. But for the standard one, you should have a little thing that looks like a microcomic. Okay, so now here, you want to have it so that the opening side is on the right, unless you want to do a sort of Japanese manga thing and do it in the other way. And on this page, on the bottom right corner of it, write the number 1. And then unfold it. And on the bottom right-hand corner, write the number 2. And actually, to make it, I often skip this step, but I realize, and then draw a panel border. So it's really clear to you what the space you have to work with in page 2. So it should look a little like this. And then open it again. And in fact, hang on. 1, 2. Open it again. And I might have folded it funny. The folding instructions in the PowerPoint that I'm going to give to everybody shows you the specific order. I think I might have done a slightly off folding. And then at the bottom of this, write the number 3 and draw another panel border. And then unfold, and that is number 4. So now you've got the sequence of from small to big. And so now what you can do with your and then the other part you have is the next to the one is your back panel. So it should look a little bit like this. And so you have 1, you have 2, you have 3, and then you have 4. So now, and in the link I'll send you in a moment, there's a little bit of the history of foldies. They were invented by a specific person. And I chatted to him to get his permission to use this, and he's delighted they're still out in the world. So you can see here, you fold it that way, and you fold it this way, and you fold it down. And then you unfold it. So now fill in the spaces. I think it's really good to use stick figures and act really loose. You could even collage bits. I've seen really zine looking foldies that look great. And think about, we've got this clear journey from going to page. What surprise, so think about your question of the day or a specific event from your list. And now we will go through and at this stage make it pretty rough and ready using pencil or whatever materials you want to use. Generally, to make it polished, I will, at least if working analog, put it out onto 2 individual pieces of paper to duplex, or I'll do it digitally. But it's a very satisfying thing you can get in your hands. So I'm just going to go through these very quickly for how to finalize it.